you're okay with this being recorded, we'd like to have it for people who couldn't attend tonight to watch later.
Is it go time?
It's go time.
um, Hello and thank you. I want to express gratitude for y'all and the Dallas Meditation Center. Um, we're about sunset hour here in Seattle. The sun is not quite down, and we've had quite a cold snap. It sounds like you have some freezing temperatures too there, so we're united by the cold. Um, and hopefully you don't have a cold, but um, so today we had the topic of faith, risk and vulnerabilities of coming home to oneself, and I chose this topic because it is a new year, and I wanted to come back to this topic. I've taught it before, and sometimes you hear the word faith, and maybe like your kind of body freezes up, or some of you hear the word faith and it's like, oh yeah, I have faith in something, someone, a practice, or God. And so all of those are the right answers. Tonight I'll be talking about faith in terms of a Buddhist practice. And so when I hear the word faith, I hear the word practice. And the word for dharmacharya, dharma teacher, comes from charya, which is to practice. So when I became a dharma teacher, doesn't mean that I stopped practicing. It means that I am reminded to practice more. And that, I think, that has been the lasting message of the transmission that I received from our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, from one of our teachers. And so that's something that I practice with. And faith, my faith in the practice, my faith in the three jewels that we chanted, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. It means to come back to ourselves and to take refuge in the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Well, what is the purpose of practice if it doesn't work? So that's the secret. That's the secret of to make it work for yourself, if it works. The Buddha didn't say, oh, well, just practice this and it'll work. Practice this and figure out if it will work for you. And if it works, continue practicing it. And by work, meaning it lessens your suffering for yourself and others. And it was pretty clear that there's a relationship between oneself and others that sometimes the Buddha taught about very strongly, about how when we are in pain in our own lives, we can project that pain, we can transmit that pain to others. And so the recommendation for the Buddha in that case, if he were giving a teaching on this, would say, take that thorn, the pain, out of your heart first. Understand it, embrace it, and hopefully that transmits to your life. To me, sometimes sitting meditation is enough. Sometimes it's not enough. And the engaged practice in the Plum Village tradition, if I were to talk about the Plum Village tradition, was established because sitting meditation wasn't enough. We had to get out, and we explored this idea of um, doing something, engaging, applying the practice to your daily life, which has always been the case. If you're in a monastic setting, then your practice is you're surrounded by the practice. You're walking, not just in walking meditation, but walking to the bathroom from the bedroom, walking from to the from the kitchen to the living room, walking to your car, walking to the bus. Those are elements of the practice. And sometimes it can get lost in translation. Sometimes we come to a practice center or we come to a sangha and we forget that, oh, that's right. I can actually practice on my way to the sangha. Like today, I was going grocery shopping, and I was telling my partner, "Hey, we gotta get back. I'm, it's gonna be showtime, and I gotta go." And then it was like, "Oh, wait a minute. What is the point of rushing? Yeah, I want to be on time, but what is the point of rushing to a meditation? If I walk fast and I can be with myself walking fast, that's different. But if I'm rushing and feel rushed and anxiety in my heart, is that really practicing what I preach? Am I preaching what I'm practicing?" So I try to focus on the meditation in my daily life as much as I focus on the meditation in terms of we do sitting and walking meditation like we do this evening. Sometimes you call it formal, and you call driving in the car meditation informal. Some people say that it is formal meditation and then post meditation, like after meditation. Some traditions have that view. For me, meditation is a daily life um, offering to myself. It's it's a practice that fits into my daily life, but it's also what I do every time I sit down. That can be a form of meditation, no matter where I'm seated. Every time I'm walking, that can be a form of meditation. The Buddha, in the Sutra on the Full Awareness or the Four Establishments of Mindfulness, Satipatthana, offered this advice: whether sitting, whether standing, whether walking, whether lying down, the practitioner dwells fully in the present moment, engaged in the sitting, engaged in the walking, engaged in the lying down, engaged in the standing, every posture, in every direction, wherever we are going, if we are still in the stillness, meditation is possible. And that's how we grow our faith. If it works, if it brings less suffering, and if it's bringing you more suffering, I would tweak it a little bit. Maybe breathing in, breathing out like I facilitated doesn't work for you, and you focus on just the sitting. Oh, I'm just going to feel the sense of what it is like to sit at this moment. That's my meditation, the sense of my feet on the floor because I'm seated on a chair, on a stool, the uprightness of my spine, the strength of my spine. That's my meditation. It's no different if I'm in an office chair in my counseling office with a client. I can meditate while I'm counseling. It might not be where I might not be going into vast realms of samadhi and concentration, but I'm present in daily life, presence in daily life. I was looking at the word for faith, Shraddha. Um, and that's in the Sanskrit version, but I like to go to Sanskrit because that's one of the root cultural languages of the Buddha in the time of the Buddha, even though he spoke other languages as his vernacular. But I like to go to this because a lot of the teachings, especially in the Mahayana version, uh, Mahayana teachings, like you might learn at Awakening Heart, is transmitted in Sanskrit. Shraddha has two words, Shrat, to have conviction, and Dha, to uphold. To have conviction, to uphold conviction. Shraddha. And it's very interesting that the word for dana, generosity, I see it at the end of this page, dana, is very similar. And you can actually put the word dana with the first word shrat. Shraddhana just means faithfulness. Faithfulness. So it's an offering of something. And Thich Nhat Hanh, in the book Silence, his book Silence, talks about the calling of our heart. I know that if I give myself space to listen to myself, to stop what I'm concentrating my mental energy on, to kind of soften the noise and the chatter in my head, give myself a break, give myself some time and some energy to do nothing, just to be here, that feels really good in my cells. It feels really, I feel like I'm respirated, like there's life energy. Sometimes I have to admit that I put noise canceling headphones on so I can really drop into a little bit, 'cause sometimes I can be distracted by noise. But to really give myself time to be quiet, the power of quiet. The power of quiet. And when I do that, I can hear more clearly what my heart is trying to say. And sometimes the noise in the world can be very overwhelming. I'm not against living in the city, or like I love that energy too. That can be very thrilling. And there's a certain way that I can sometimes respond to it where I feel a little like too much happening. And then I need to drop in a little bit. But I don't have to necessarily be away from the noise in order to do that. It's something that switches on in my brain, in the whole of my body, that says, ooh, stress, toxic stress. And there's something that I need to do, action, something that I do in order to de-stress or to change my body's response to it. Maybe I need to move around a little bit. Maybe I need to put gentle music on in order to calm myself. Maybe I need to go work in the garden. Something I do to come back to myself. Something I practice in order to come back to myself. And when I do that, I hear the voice of my heart. That gives me a lot of hope. It gives me a lot of light. I feel lightness. It gives me joy. It gives me energy. And That's a secret. That's a secret recipe. And if I can do that, I have energy to give to my clients, to my partner, to my family, to all of you. There's a lot of energy that comes because I feel restored from that. Shraddhana, Shraddhana, Shraddha, faith. And like I guided during the meditation, and I want to see if there's any thoughts or questions on that during discussion. But very simple. It can be very simple. What is something that helps you to come back to yourself, to your body, to your mind, to settle your thoughts, your feelings, your responses? What is it that helps you come back? Is it the breath? Is it taking a breath? Is it, do you have a sweater or something that you put on that makes you feel like you can more be present? Is there a certain, I have my favorite socks that I just found, they were lost. And now I found them and I've got, oh, my socks. But actually, I took off my socks for meditation because having my feet on the ground really helped me, helped ground me, and to feel the texture of my feet. So, what is it that helps you to come back? And it might be several different things. Maybe you have a go to, but I'm interested to know what that might be. Um, and if maybe there is something that you haven't figured out what helps you come back yet. So maybe that is what the practice of meditation might be for you. I'll stop there and grateful for this space. I'm happy to be with all of you in the light of awakening heart. Um, I don't know how to close, maybe a sound of the bell or something. A bow.
We'll end the recording here so we don't record the sharing. Since we have a fairly small